right. Good morning, everyone. Beth Combs here with Bethy Combs Yoga and Canyon Community Yoga. Welcome to our Tuesday morning yoga session. And I'm so glad that you're joining me live or joining me on the replay. So we'll go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to kind of really focus on our sun salutations, which some of you might find intimidating, but I just encourage you to stick with it and go at your own pace. Everybody, I believe, can actually do sun salutations. Um, you just need to know each of the steps and then take them one piece at a time. So we're going to kind of slow things down and make sure that you can do each step in the process and then kind of put it all together. Will be our main focus for today. But I wanted to start with our card for today. So this card is Kapha, which is one of the Ayurvedic doshas. It's the earthy, grounding dosha. The earthy dosha, grounding, nurturing, and heavy. And I actually pulled it in the reverse. So the reverse card says, has the earth energy left you feeling heavy? It's time to shake out of your kapha rut. You may have gotten too comfortable where you are, your home, your career, your relationships, your life goals. Try something out of the box. See bigger dreams for yourself. Let go of habits that are no longer serving you, such as emotional eating or looking back into the past. Replace refined carbs, sugar, and dairy with bitter vegetables, tart fruit, and rich spices. It's time to shed your old skin and reemerge as your highest self and fullest expression. So, one of my favorite phrases is root to rise. So, this card is kind of reminding us to sometimes we need to push ourselves out of our comfort zone in order to grow, in order to learn, and in order to expand. And so, I just encourage you as we do our practice today, especially with our sun salutations, that you stretch yourself just a little bit. Definitely back off if you feel any pain, but just kind of notice where your brain thinks you can't do something, but your body's actually eager to give it a try. I'm always for listening to our body wisdom. And I feel like our bodies are very wise and tuning into that, tuning into those sensations and that wisdom that might come through if we're just able to kind of calm our minds down. So we'll go ahead and get started seated on our mats like we always do. So you might want to grab a pillow or a cushion to sit up on if your hips are tight like mine are. I like my bolster just because it's so sturdy and just gives me a nice big surface to sit on. You'll notice that when I have my bolster, my knees are below my hips, so that's kind of the alignment that you want to go with here. So you can begin to close your eyes here. Breathing, rooting those sits bones down into your pillow or your cushion or even the earth if you're sitting on the floor. You can leave your hands in your lap. You could place them palms down on your thighs. Or if you're feeling more receptive this morning, you could flip the palms to face the ceiling. Rooting down in the sits bones, lengthening up the spine and out the crown of the head. The jaw is relaxed, the cheeks are soft. If your tongue is pressing to the roof of your mouth, go ahead and release it. You want nice open space inside your mouth. And just gently breathing here. We'll take 3 rounds of breath where we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale out the mouth, releasing any tension from the night before or the day before. Inhale. Exhale. You can sigh as loud as you need to. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You can close the mouth. Begin inhaling and exhaling through the nose. If you're feeling particularly anxious, you can feel free to continue exhaling out the mouth. This actually helps to calm our vagus nerve. And then we'll go ahead and if you've got a nice big cushion, you can continue sitting up on that. I'm going to move mine out of the way and come seated on the mat. And we're going to just take some seated hip circles here. So we'll inhale as we come forward with the torso, and then we're going to curl the belly button back towards the spine as we exhale. Kind of rocking forward and back as we're making circles with our hips and our torso. Then we'll switch directions. And then we're going to come onto our hands and knees for our cat-cow. And so you want your wrists lined up under your shoulders, your knees lined up underneath your hips. I just noticed my camera seems really fuzzy today, so I'm just going to see if that helps at all. Maybe a little bit. Hopefully you all can see me okay. So we're going to line our wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips, fingers spread nice and wide, and we're going to take our cat-cow here. So we'll inhale, lift the tailbone and the forehead up towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull the belly button back towards the spine. Inhale to come up. Exhale to pull back. Inhale up. Exhale back. 2 more, following your own breath at your own pace. And we'll meet back in center. And then we're going to set up for abdominal warm up next. And I might try to change the. Sorry. Just realized you all can't see me very well when I'm facing this way. So I'm going to try to turn everything over. There we go. Might be able to see me a little bit better that way. Okay. Hopefully that's a little bit better. You can see me a little more easily. All right, so we're going to do abdominal warm up next. We're going to bring the right fingertips out in front and the left toes back behind us. We'll inhale, and as we exhale, we'll lift the right arm up alongside the right ear. Remember to breathe here. Really extend through those right fingertips. If you'd like, you can bring the left foot up off the mat. Maybe it's just an inch. Maybe it's up to hip height. Pressing through that left heel. Reaching through those right fingertips, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. We'll exhale, lower everything down, and we'll switch sides. So left fingertips out in front, right toes are back behind us. We'll inhale the left arm up alongside the left ear. And as we exhale, we can lift the right foot a couple inches off the mat or all the way up to hip height. Pulling that belly button in towards the spine, pressing through the right heel, reaching through those left fingertips. Then we'll exhale, we'll lower everything back down. And we'll take each side one more time. So right fingertips out in front, left toes are back behind us. We'll inhale, lift the right arm up alongside the left ear. Exhale, lift the left foot up behind us, either 1 inch or up to hip height. Remember to breathe here. Pulling that belly button in towards the spine, reaching in opposite direction with the right and the left leg. We'll exhale, lower down, and we'll switch sides. Left fingertips out in front, right toes back behind us. We'll inhale the left arm up. Exhale the right foot back, either a couple inches off the mat or up to hip height. Pulling the belly button in towards the spine. Then we'll exhale, we'll lower the hand and the leg back down. And then we're going to take a child's pose here. So we're going to pull the big toes together, widen the knees, lower the hips down towards our heels, and our forehead down towards the mat. Arms are extended out in front of us, elbows are lifted up off the mat. Reaching the tailbone towards the heels. They don't have to actually touch your heels, they just have to head in that direction. And if your knees are really sensitive, you can put a blanket under the knees, or you can actually put a blanket behind your knees. I find sometimes the tension in child's pose can be a little bit much for my knees. So you can actually place a blanket behind them, and that will actually help make the angle a little bit less. Then we'll come back up to our tabletop position. Move that blanket out of the way. And we're going to take a downward facing dog next. So we're going to walk the hands a palm's distance in front of us, flip the toes, pull the hips up and back. Feel free to pedal the feet out here. Make sure the weight is even between your hands and your feet. And then we'll walk the feet up to the front of the mat. We'll bend the knees here, and then we'll inhale, sweep the arms up and around, and exhale the hands to heart center. So we'll go ahead and we'll do our sun salutations next, but we're going to do just the top portion so you can kind of get familiar with that first. We're going to sweep the arms up and around. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to exhale and fold forward. So if your chest kind of gets in your way when you fold forward, you can grab some books or some blocks and you can place them in front of you. And this is helpful for the forward fold and also when we lift up halfway. So If there's just a lot going on and you feel like you're kind of suffocating, you can use some blocks to kind of make more space for yourself in the chest area. Otherwise, you can fold here with the knees bent. You can place your hands on the sides of your legs. And then you're going to lift your torso halfway up. And I like to recommend placing the hands on the sides of the shins. If you place them on the front, you can hyperextend your knees, and we don't want to do that. So placing them on the sides really helps make sure that you don't straighten your legs too much. But it still gives you something to kind of push up off of. And then you can exhale, fold forward once again. And then inhale, sweep the arms up and around. Touch the palms to the top above your head, and then exhale the hands to heart center. So we'll do that one more time. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Again, use those blocks if you need to. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up and around. Exhale the hands to heart center. And next we will do the bottom portion, but we're going to use the, excuse me, we're going to use the top half of our sun salutation to get us down, and then we'll kind of focus more on the the down portion of our sun salutation, and then we'll put it all together. So we'll inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the torso halfway up. And then we're going to exhale, and we're going to fold forward again. And then I'm going to turn to the side, so I'm on the long edge of my mat again. We're going to lower down to our tabletop position. And then we're going to lower our torso all the way down to the mat. We want to press all 10 toes into our mat, pull the tailbone towards the heels, and we're going to inhale and lift the torso up into cobra. So maybe start a little bit lower. Our low backs are still waking up this morning. And then on our next exhale, we push ourselves back up to tabletop and then pull the hips up and back for downward facing dog. We're going to lower the knees back down to tabletop. We're going to lower our torsos back down to the mat to set up for cobra once again. So press all 10 toes, tops of the feet into the mat. Pull the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, lift the torso up, maybe a little higher than last time. And then on your next exhale, push yourselves up to tabletop. And then pull the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Again, feel free to pedal your feet out here. Then we'll step the feet up at the top of the mat in between the hands. We'll inhale, lift the torso halfway up. Exhale to fold forward. And then inhale, bend the knees as you sweep the arms up and around. Exhale the hands to heart center. So we're going to do full sun salutations just a few times. Get the body nice and warmed up. Give us some energy to greet the day. See if I can move this a little bit. So we're going to start at the top of the mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Weight is even between all four corners of the feet. We're going to inhale and sweep the arms up, and the palms touch at the top. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the torso halfway up. And then exhale, step the feet back, lower the knees down to tabletop, then lower the torso all the way down to the mat. Press all 10 toes into the mat. Point the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, lift the torso up to cobra. Exhale, push yourself back up to tabletop, and then pull the hips up and back for downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal the feet out here. Then we're going to walk the feet up to the top of the mat, in between the hands. Bend the knees here. As we inhale, lift the torso halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Make sure the knees are bent as you inhale. Sweep the arms up and around. And exhale the hands to heart center. So we're going to take that 2 more times. So we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, place the hands on the sides of the shins as you lift the torso halfway up. Exhale, fold forward, plant the hands, step the feet back, lower to tabletop, and then lower the torso all the way down to the mat. We're going to press all 10 toes and the tops of the feet into the mat. Pull the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale the torso up to cobra. Exhale, push the hips up and back, and then pull them up towards the ceiling for downward facing dog. And then we're going to step the feet up in between the hands at the top of the mat. Keep the knees bent as you inhale, lift the torso halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Remember to bend the knees here as you inhale, sweep the arms up and around. And exhale the hands to heart center. So we've got one more here. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Go at your own pace. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift the torso halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, lower the knees down, lower the torso down. Press all 10 toes into the mat. Pull the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale the torso up to cobra. And then exhale, pull the hips up and back to tabletop. And then up towards the ceiling for downward facing dog. Again, feel free to pedal the feet out or bend the knees here if your hamstrings are still tight. And then we're going to step the feet up to the top of the mat in between the hands. We're going to inhale and lift the torso halfway up. Exhale, fold forward as you bend the knees, and then inhale, sweep the arms up and around, and exhale the hands to heart center. So we'll take a few breaths here in our mountain pose. Our abdominals are engaged, pulling the front ribs and the front hip bones kind of toward one another, or lengthening the tailbone down the back towards the floor. Feeling rooted while also lengthening up the spine and out the crown of the head. Chin is parallel with the earth. And then we'll take a seat and do just a couple seated poses before we take our Shavasana. So go ahead and take a seat on your mats. We're going to do a wide-legged stretch here. So you want to bring the feet probably 2 to 3 feet apart. Whatever is comfortable for your inner thigh and your groin area. So we're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then we're going to exhale and fold forward any amount. So maybe you rest your hands just below your knees. Maybe you can reach your ankles or even wrap your hands around your feet, the outside of your feet. If your low back is tight, feel free to bend your knees here. Then we'll inhale, we'll come back to center, and then we're going to take a side stretch here. So we'll take the right hand, we're going to rest that on our right thigh. We're going to bring the left arm up alongside the left ear and then fold over to the right any amount. So that might be right here, and that's totally fine. Or you can go a little bit further, kind of reaching the left hand toward the right foot. We'll inhale, we'll come back to center, and then we'll switch sides. So we're taking the left forearm and resting it on the left thigh. We'll bring the right arm up alongside the right ear and then fold over to the left. We'll inhale, we'll come back up to center, and then we're going to go ahead and lay down for our Shavasana. So if you have a pillow to place under your head, feel free to do that. And again, if your low back is tight, you might want a bolster or a pillow to place under your knees. Arms stretched out on either side of your body at a 45-degree angle. Or you can bring your arms up to goalpost arms. If you want a little bit more stretch across your collarbone, this is a great option. If you've been working on the computer all day, this is a great stretch for your chest area, just kind of opening that back up again. Just allow yourself to sink into the mat, to be supported by the earth, and to allow your practice to integrate throughout your body. Feel free to stay in this pose as long as you need to. When you're ready, go ahead and roll over to your right side, and then bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Feel free to close your eyes. You can bring your hands together, palms touch at your heart center. The compassion, the love, and the light in me honors the compassion, the love, and the light in you. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.